In construction, you can have the absolute best blueprints, the best materials on the market, but without the right people, it's really all just a pile of potential. So today, we're going to build the ultimate playbook for the most critical part of your business, your team, by digging into the key insights from Chapter 11 of Construction Business Management. Let's start right here with the foundation for this whole playbook. It's all captured in this one quote. It is such a powerful reminder. In this business, your success isn't just about what you build, it's about who you build it with. And we've all seen it, right? A great team can take a tough project and turn it into a masterpiece, while a weak team can totally sink even the most perfect plans. So if your team really is everything, how do you build a great one? And maybe even more importantly, how do you keep it? We're going to break this whole thing down into three crucial parts: finding the talent, keeping the talent, and leading them when things get tough. First up, let's get that hiring playbook built. Look, an A team doesn't just magically show up at your job site. You have to build it piece by piece, brick by brick. And that project, it starts with a really disciplined, intentional process for finding the right people who are going to become the absolute backbone of your company. The source material is crystal clear on this one. Skipping these fundamentals is basically a recipe for a mediocre team. Seriously, trying to save a few bucks by hiring cheaper talent is going to cost you so much more in rework, delays, and headaches down the road. And please don't treat references like some formality. They are your single best window into how an applicant really performs out in the wild. The interview. It isn't just some friendly chat, it's a fact-finding mission. Your goal is to get past that polished resume. You got to ask questions that reveal how they work, not just what they've done. Things like, hey, describe the culture at your last company, or what would your old coworkers say is your biggest strength, and what about your biggest weakness? Those are the questions that uncover a true A player. And that brings us to a really crucial discipline: patience. I get it. The pressure to fill an open position is huge. But trust me, hiring the wrong person is so much more expensive than waiting for the right one. Don't settle for just the best person in a weak applicant pool. You have to hold out for that A player who's going to elevate your entire team. All right, so you got the right people on the door. That's awesome. But that's only half the battle. Now you have to give them a real reason to stick around. That means creating an environment where they can do their best work and where they can grow. So let's dive into part 2 of our playbook, managing for the long term. According to the book, these are the pillars that build deep employee commitment. And let's be really clear about something. Commitment is way more valuable than just compliance. A compliant employee, well, they do what they're told. But a committed employee? They take ownership. They solve problems you didn't even know you had. They go the extra mile because they believe in what you're building together. Now let's just zoom in on one of these for a second: autonomy. This is pretty fascinating. The book points out that some experts believe this is the single most important factor in job satisfaction. Think about that. It's not just about the money, it's about trust. It means you set the destination, but you trust your best people to figure out the best way to get there. I love this slide because it just nails the mindset shift you're really aiming for. You're trying to move your team from just having a job description to taking true responsibility. You don't want people who just check off a list of duties. You want team members who own the outcome and who get the why behind their work. And right here, this is the book's golden rule for building trust. Trust is the absolute glue that holds a high-performing team together. And you know what it's built on? One thing: consistency. Your team needs to know, without a doubt, that your word is your bond. This quote just says it all: under-promise and over-produce, every time. Okay, a quick but really critical warning about bonuses. If an incentive plan isn't tied to specific, measurable goals, it can totally backfire. People start to see it as an entitlement, just part of their regular pay. A well-designed plan, it drives performance. A poorly designed one, it can just create resentment. All right, let's be real. Even with the best team and a super strong culture, things are gonna go wrong. People will underperform. And how you handle these tough calls, well, that's what truly defines you as a leader. And that brings us to the final section of our playbook. The advice from the book here is pretty simple. Proactive feedback is your absolute best friend. You have to deal with performance issues, both the good and the bad, as they happen. Don't save it all up for some formal review 6 months from now. This is how you stop small problems from becoming massive ones, and it ensures that nobody is ever surprised in a performance evaluation. This is without a doubt the hardest job a leader has. But when a termination is necessary, having a clear professional process is just non-negotiable. Following these steps protects the employee's dignity, it maintains the morale of the rest of your team, and it protects your business. And this This is a massive warning from the author. Making a firing decision in the heat of the moment is one of the most dangerous, reckless moves a business owner can make. It's an emotional decision, and it opens you up to huge legal and ethical risks. The rule is simple. Always take a step back. You need to think of your employee handbook as the constitution for your company. It is not just some binder that's gathering dust on a shelf. It is the rule book. It sets clear expectations, it defines policies, and it protects everyone involved, both your employees and you.
So we've gone through the whole playbook, from hiring to managing to leading through the really tough calls. And you know what? It all boils down to one final, powerful question that you as a business owner have to be asking yourself every single day.
Because as we've seen from all the principles in this book, the answer to that one question is going to define your company's future more than any other decision you ever make.